Okay, before you watch the tutorial, I'm going to show you really quick how fast I can animate using this technique of actions for facial expressions. So I'm going to take this picture, and you'll see it in the tutorial, but I'm going to duplicate the head, and I'll go ahead and move this to the side. And I just want to make a duplicate so you can see the comparison between not using anything and then using these quick actions, or actions, I should say. So I'm going to just start going through the timeline and go to the head layer, and I'll go ahead and start adding like scared. This isn't really scared, this is more of a shocked type thing, but put that in.
Wow.
Welcome's a good place to put this hard blank.
You're welcome.
And then we'll do puzzled.
Very different video, alright? I've been seeing these trends.
Let's do iPod.
I've been seeing these trends all over YouTube called
And blink upper.
like don't or like don't or like don't do something at 3 a.m. Don't go outside.
Sorry I'm not talking, I'm just trying to put these keyframes in really fast, but you see I'm just clicking the actions that I have and putting them in where I think they should go.
a.m. Don't go outside at 3 a.m. Don't look under the bed at...
Let's do 1.8 maybe? See what that looks like.
Don't look under the bed at 3 a.m. I'm like... bed at 3 a.m. I'm like
maybe angry, kind of.
And I'm like, what the frick is up?
Let's add puzzled again.
What the frick is up with 3 a.m. all of a sudden? What the frick is up with 3 a.m. all of a sudden? 3 a.m. all of a sudden. With 3 a.m. all of a sudden.
All of this. Move the keyframes. I'm trying to move the keyframe to where his eyes kind of pop a little bit.
A.m. all of a sudden. We're going to be doing
let's see.
Annoyed. Frick is up with 3 a.m. all of a sudden. We're going to be doing today.
So there it is. In, I don't know, maybe 2 minutes, two or 3 minutes, I've animated about almost 475 frames of animation. And actually, let me animate it just a little bit more. I'll do some head movement too with the, and I'll use the same technique.
Alright, so it's going on for engineering. Wow.
Or not same technique, I'm gonna just start animating it. I have the pivot point kind of put where the base of his neck would be. And I'll click rotate here. Then I'll rotate it back. Oops.
You're welcome.
How come his mouth is disconnected? That's weird. Oh. It's because I'm not turning the whole thing. Hold on, let me undo. Select the bone layer that has everything in it and then do it. Let's do that. There we go.
You're welcome. Very good. Welcome.
And I like doing this where I make 2 keyframes. I'll copy and paste them later on or further down, and then just move one keyframe in front or behind the other to make it go back to its original position.
You're welcome. Very different.
Oops, let me move that a little bit over.
Very different video, alright? I've been seeing these trends. Seeing these trends all over YouTube called like
Again, just making a little bit of head movement. Adds a lot of expression.
Don't do something at 3 a.m. Don't go. Do something at 3 a.m. Don't go outside at 3 a.m. 3 a.m. Don't go outside at 3 a.m. Don't look under the bed at. Don't look.
I'm gonna have him look down too when he does that. Click on the keyframe for the eyes.
Don't look under the bed at 3.
Copy those.
Don't look under the bed at 3 a.m. I'm like,
paste them. Grab one keyframe, move it over.
I'm like,
I'll do the same thing with the rotation of the head. Click rotate that back.
I'm like, what the freak?
Oh, how come he didn't move his eyes back? Hold on. Maybe the position right here. Grab those, paste, move keyframe.
I'm like, what the freak is up with 8 a.m. all of a sudden? What the freak is up with
Do one more. Eye movement.
What the freak is up with 3 a.m. all of a sudden?
Oops. Hard to grab those keyframes sometimes.
It's up with 3 a.m. all of a sudden. Now we're gonna.
And just little movements.
All of a sudden. Now what we're gonna be doing today. 3 a.m. I'm like, what the freak is up with 3 a.m. all of a sudden? Now what we're gonna be doing today. Hold up.
And there it is. Just a few minutes of work after you've, created a bunch of actions. It actually really speeds up your process. And you can imagine if you have several characters that all have these quick actions, it'll make it a lot easier to animate. Or even have somebody else animate for you and just use those pre-made things or pre-made animations you've made yourself. And that's it. I hope you enjoy the video, and I'll have another one here shortly. Hey, what's up everybody? Today I wanted to show you a really quick and easy way to add facial expressions to your characters using actions. And you don't have to use any bones. It's just a little bit of point animation, and it's really easy to do. I'm making a fan animation, and this is what I have right now for the character. I've imported some audio and I've lip synced it, and it looks pretty good so far. This is what I have right now.
Alright, so what's going on, Greek Engineering? Welcome. Very different video, alright? I've been seeing these trends all over you.
Which looks good, but we want to add blinking and, maybe make the character surprised or scared or whatever. And this is really easy to do with actions, and they're really easy to set up as well. So right now, the only thing that I have rigged is if I go into the head rig, into the bone layer, I have the eyes. Oops. Got to go into the timeline to see it work, but they're masked out, but they're in there. And what I want to do is add facial expressions, and I have the head all on one layer. So if I click on the head layer, you can see right now it's not very complicated at all. There's some extra shapes in here, but that's just for shading and whatnot. Like if I click on this, that's just like some shading to the side of the head. This is just the front of his hair masked out, so I can move that around. But other than that, everything's pretty simple. The only thing that I have kind of hidden are these squares right here. If I drag those down, those are just masked out, so for the eyelids. And I'm just using, what do they call those now? Not liquid shapes. Maybe it is liquid shapes. But it's basically clipping or masking. So I have those hidden right there. And now what I want to do is create like a blink. So since everything's on the same layer, it's really easy to do. You go to Window and Action, which is this window right here. Let me close it and open it just so you can see. Go to Window, Actions, and then make sure you're on frame 0. And I'm on my head layer, the art layer. I'll go ahead and click New. And I'm going to call this Blink. And you'll know that you're creating an action when the timeline turns pink. And I don't want to create a keyframe on frame 1. I actually want to go into the timeline a little bit because I want them to morph from one action to another. You'll kind of see when I start animating a little more. But right now we'll just go to frame 3. And all I'm going to do is hit T, select this eyebrow that's hidden, and then hold shift down so I select the other shape. And then I'll go ahead and bring those down. Do the same for the bottom ones, select both of those and bring those up. Then I'll go to frame 6 and bring them back down and up. So we kind of get back to the original position. Oops, let's move that to frame 6. There we go. And that's it. We've created a blink, and if I go into the timeline, I can go anywhere in here and I can click blink and then insert copy. Insert copy is a little different than insert reference. Reference just means that if you go back into the action and change it, it will change every one of the references, or what is it? What do they call it? Insert reference, yeah. So if by chance I wanted to change all the blinks throughout my entire animation, I could use references instead of inserting copy. But copy works fine for me. I mean, it's just as easy. Again, I can just keep hitting insert, or I can just do a Command-C, Command-V, and paste blinks wherever I want.
Greetings here, welcome. Very different video.
Which already that adds a lot to your character. I don't think it's a good idea to add keyframes throughout your animations for blinks right away. Just do them as you're animating the face. So we've got that right there, and we can use that as a basis to create some other actions. So let's go back to frame 0. I'm going to create a new one, a new action, and call it blink. Oops, blink upper. And I'm going to double click the blink action, and I'm going to copy these keyframes that I made on 3 and 6. I'll do a Command-C or Control-C. Go to blink upper, go to frame 3, paste, Command or Control-V. And then on frame 6, I'm actually going to bring back down the upper eyelids, so he kind of looks annoyed. And we've made a new action. We can go ahead and create another one. We'll call this blink lower. Do the same thing. Go to since we've copied those keyframes, we can paste them again. Frame 3, Control-V. This time we'll grab the lower eyelids, bring those up. And we've already created 3 different actions that we can use. So if I go into the timeline, you can add a blink. And then when he says welcome, you can do like blink upper.
Very different.
I think maybe you do it right here instead.
Very different.
Welcome to a different. So blink upper.
Very different video, alright? I've been...
See, when his voice changes, that sounds like a good place to put another action.
Alright, I've been seeing...
So blink lower. And right there already we've gotten a lot of expression from just doing some really fast actions.
What's going on, Quick Engineering? Welcome. Very different video, alright? I've been seeing these trends all over YouTube.
Which is great. But we can even do more with that. Those are simple actions. But we can do stuff like... Let's go ahead and create another one. Let's do a whole facial expression. So I'll create a new action. And we'll call this angry. And let's go ahead and start with a... I like starting with a blink because it just adds more to the animation. I mean, when people change facial expressions, they usually blink anyway, but it looks pretty natural. So I'm going to start with a blink. I'm going to paste on 3 again. And let's say you want to bring the eyebrow or eyelids down like that. But then also let's go ahead and grab the eyebrows, bring those down, maybe even rotate them. Oops, not the eyelid, the eyebrow. There we go. And I'll do some point animation. I'll curve this out, make his eyebrow look a little bit more like he's angry. Like that. Let's see. So he blinks. Oh, I got some weird stuff going on here with this one. Hold on. Dang it. There we go. I'm just trying to fix this eyebrow. This eyebrow is doing some funkiness right there. Let's delete those keyframes. There we go. So we get a smooth transition. So now I've done some animating with the eyebrows too. And I'm also going to create another action called neutral. And this is basically just to reset everything. So I'll create a new one. And I'm just going to go to frame 6. And I'm literally just going to select everything by doing Control A and then Control F, which sets a keyframe for everything. That's just in case you've made, you know, say you have 20, 30, 40 actions and everything, you know, you can't figure out what's messing up. You can always go into the timeline and let's say I add angry in, put that in.
Welcome.
I can hit neutral and add that in, and it's just going to reset the face. So
Very different.
it just goes back to that original pose. So no matter what you do, it's really easy to get back on track. So let's do something else. You can make the actions even longer. You can do a whole bunch of stuff and change the position of the head and whatnot, but let's do eye pop. I want him to look surprised. So go to eye pop. Again, I'm going to start with the blink, so I'll just paste. So he's blinking, and then frame 6. I'm going to raise his eyebrows up. Actually, I want his eyebrows to start moving on frame 3. So I'm going to just hit T, click on them, so it creates keyframes for them as well. Go to frame 6. I'm gonna lift his eyebrows up and turn them so he looks a little bit more surprised. And then I think on frame 6, I'm going to click on the shape of his eyes. So that creates a keyframe for those. I'll go a few frames in, do that again. So this is where they're going to shrink back down to the size they need to be. And then in between those two that I just made, I'm just going to make them bigger. So grab that and hold down Shift, or is it Control? No, it's Alt. Hold down Alt so it expands in every from the center. So I'm just going to make them a little bit bigger. I might even stretch them up a bit. I don't want to hit the eyelid. I could move the... Well, actually I will. Let's make it that big. And do the same for this one. Make it really big. Maybe make it a little bit bigger. And let's give the keyframes a little bit of room to animate. Spread those out a little bit. So see how his eyes kind of pulsate just really fast? And let's move the eyelids out of the way for a second. So grab those. When they pop, I'll move those up. And do the same for the bottom ones. Move those out of the way a little bit. And let's make the eyebrows stop animating. Where is it? I'm going to grab the eyebrows here. And just changing it. Okay. Let's see how that looks. Go back to the timeline. Let's add that where he says welcome.
Engineering, welcome.
So I'll go right here. I'll do eye pop. Add that.
Very different video, all right? I've been seeing these trends all over YouTube.
See, now here's an example. I kind of wanted that to happen. So because I didn't make the first keyframe, after I did that eye pop, then I added the blink upper. Because the blink upper only affects this. Or it should only affect the eyelids. But something is wrong with... let's see, blink upper. I don't think there should be any keyframes for the eyebrows. So let's delete those and see if that fixes it. Go back in the main timeline. I'll add the eye pop again. I need to fix that. That doesn't look right though. But let's see if the blink lower or upper works when I add this now without messing up the eyebrows. There we go. So that was the problem. Little things like that will happen if you just have to go back in and check the actions. So I knew that the blink upper shouldn't affect the eyebrows at all. And when I went into it, it had keyframes for one of the points of the eyebrow. So I just deleted those. Then I can go to neutral just to make everything reset.
Very different video, all right? I've been seeing these trends all
And that's basically it. You can just build a huge library. If you're going to have characters that you're going to use over and over again, just make a whole bunch of facial expressions and just add them in within seconds. So I'm going to go ahead and continue to make more actions for this character's face. And I will show you the end result later.